Oh, shit.
Larry tried to kill me.
Yeah. I was so thoroughly disgusted.
Let me think about it. Why does it make you special to do what you do?
Packers jumping around. They rush forward. Plenty of time for John. Now squeezes, steps up in the pocket. Elliott can run inside the 10. Head first. He 5-yard line. My goodness.
Rushing forward, ball comes out of the hands of Newton. It's on the ground, and it's still on the ground. Picked up by T.J. Ward at the 4-yard line.
There's also Brian Clady and Bob Miller. Third and long 3. Going deep. Oh, and he's got Thomas. Goodbye. Touchdown.
Here we go. First snap of the overtime. The Broncos have been in 3 overtime games this year. They won them all. Got him at the 40. It's Thomas at the 50. Stifford got him 3 to the 30, to the 20. Thomas to the 10. Difference going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime.
Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT Network. This is a show that is everything Broncos and brought to you with emotion, passion, the truth, and of course, my comments. I am your host, Bronco Bill. Avatar, always great to see you in the house, except I got a question. What happened to the Avalanche shout out? What's up, Broncos country and Avalanche fanatics? All right, I covered it for you. It's all good, dude. It's all good. Welcome. Glad to have you. Glad to have you in the chat. Glad to have you on the show. Okay. Hope everybody had a really good week as we head into the weekend. I have breaking news, literally, that happened just about 2 hours prior to the show. Here it is. Huge signing. This was first reported today, like I said, a couple hours before the show. The Denver Broncos, per NFL News Roundup, reports the following. The Broncos have signed wide receiver Marquez Callaway. Now, if you remember, Marquez Callaway is a predominant receiver, and here's why. He is reuniting with his coach that he played under in New Orleans. That's right, Sean Payton. So my question is this. Well, let me finish the thing here. Terms of the contract weren't available as this just broke a few hours before the show, like I said. Here's my concern. What does that mean for KJ Hamler? What does that mean for Tim Patrick or Jerry Jeudy or Cortland Sutton? I mean, I know you have to have receivers to throw the ball to, but you have to think, at least I do, at least I have to think that if Sean Payton is bringing in Marquez Callaway, who he knows and knew from New Orleans and how he plays, you again, meaning me, I'm not trying to say you guys because I'm not going to put words in your mouth. Me, I just kind of wonder if now all of a sudden Callaway is going to be the number one receiver. Because really, who does the Broncos have as their number one receiver? Jerry Jeudy? Okay, he played really well last year, really well. Cortland Sutton? Not so much. Tim Patrick? Yeah, I really like Tim Patrick a lot. KJ Hamler? Well, I'll get into some KJ Hamler news here in a little bit. But I like this signing. I really like this signing because there's familiarity. You have to have that. You have to have what the coach knows in his players. That's why coaches bring in their support staff, the people that they know. Doesn't always work if you're Nathaniel Hackett, if you get my drift. It's going to work with Sean Payton. And I like this signing. I think it's a great signing because it shows that Sean Payton is not only going to run the ball, but he also wants to pass the ball. And there's what I said last Friday in my show. I want it 50-50, 55-45, 60-40, as long as it doesn't go beyond the 60-40, because now you're leaning too far one side or the other. I like this signing. I'm just concerned about what that means for Tim Patrick, KJ Hamler, Jerry Jeudy, and Cortland Sutton. Other than that, I absolutely love the signing. And I've mentioned this many times. I'll keep saying it forever. I don't like to see any Denver Bronco player leave Denver, period, with the exception of a few. And I think you guys all know who that is. But that's my point. You know, I don't want to see a quality Bronco player like a Jerry Jeudy going somewhere else, or Cortland Sutton or Tim Patrick or KJ Hamler going somewhere else and being productive and helping their team win a, heaven forbid, Super Bowl. That's what I don't want. I mean, I already saw it one time when I saw it with Shannon Sharp when he left and went to Baltimore. Yes, they won the Super Bowl, but it hurt because it wasn't with Denver. And I know the Broncos went back-to-back, and that's all well and good. It's still, I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay. Hey, Ray, welcome. Nice to have you in the house. Ray says, hey, folks, love it. Also, he says, hi, Bill. Well, hello, Bubba. Oh, no, that's Bubba, not Ray. Bubba, what's going on? Nice to have you in the house as always. What's up? And nice to have you, like I said. Thanks for the shout-out. Appreciate it. Okay, let's go to a couple of players that the Broncos let go. And these don't really bother me all that much. They really don't. I know I just got through saying I don't like to see any Bronco players leave the team and go elsewhere. That's true. But I'm not necessarily talking about every player, although, you know, I mean, if they're a household name, of course I don't like it. But if they're a backup or they're on the practice squad or they didn't really perform even as a backup, I'm okay with that. All right, here we go. Broncos release. Denver continues to cut players amidst free agency. The latest are outside linebacker Wyatt Ray and cornerback Lamar Jackson. Yeah, not the Lamar Jackson from Baltimore by any stretch. Am I okay with that? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. With our linebackers that we have in free agency and that, Lamar Jackson, he didn't really do anything last year. He was just basically brought in as a player to, you know, step in when needed, that kind of thing. But he's not really a household name unless you're talking about the Baltimore Ravens quarterback than Lamar Jackson. And that's different. It's not who this is. So I'm okay with that. I really am. Speaking of cuts, this is another reason why I'm okay with Lamar Jackson being released. Here it is. The Denver Broncos, per Mike Kliss, announced they have officially re-signed cornerback Isong Bassi. I like that. Bassi wasn't outstanding last year. He was solid. He was absolutely solid. And when called upon, he produced. He performed. So, I mean, is it a great signing? No, it's a solid signing. It's a solid signing because he has familiarity with the players. He has familiarity with the team. I know it's a new head coach. I know it's a new offensive system, new defensive system. That's all well and good. But if you have a veteran like Bassi who can lean on somebody like, let's say, I don't know, Justin Simmons or somebody else in there that's on the defense that he knows, Josie Jewell, Alex Singleton, those kind of guys, even though they don't play the same position, he can rely on them for, continuity. It's familiarity. If he were to leave and go to some other team, he's got to learn everything new. He's got to learn the players. He's got to learn everything new. And sure, he's got to learn the coaching staff and how they want to do things, but he still has the teammates that he's used to. He has the stadium that he's used to. He has the whole facilities that he's used to. So I like this signing. I really do. He's going to be a backup nickel to Kawan Williams and special teams contributor. That's good. Multiple talented player. That's what we need. We need somebody, like I said, who has familiarity with the players, with the facilities, that kind of thing. It makes him feel comfortable. And then all he has to do is learn the new playbook, which I know is probably not an easy thing, but he has, that's the only thing he really has to focus on. If he goes to another team, he has to focus on multiple things, like where to go here and what to do there and who do I contact this. I mean, it's just common sense, guys. It made perfect sense to bring him back. Absolutely perfect sense to bring him back. Okay, speaking of bringing back, the Broncos have announced they have re-signed backup safety and special teamer P.J. Locke, per, again, Mike Kliss of 9 News Sports. It's a non-tendered at $2.63 million as a restricted free agent. But this makes perfect sense to bring him back, according to Mike Kliss. I totally agree. Absolutely agree. Again, I just mentioned the familiarity, the surroundings, that it makes perfect sense. And Sean Payton, along with George Payton and Greg Penner, are orchestrating and conducting an absolute masterpiece. Now, I know I'm getting way ahead of myself. I know I'm not going to say the Denver Broncos are going to go 17-0. That's not what I'm going to say, and I would never say that. I would hope. I would absolutely hope, but I would never say that. What I'm saying is back the pieces that's going to make this team cohesive, connected, unified, focused, determined. I mean, name another adjective out there. Seriously, Sean Payton is doing what Nathaniel, no, you're right. Nathaniel Hackett is nowhere, can't even carry what of Sean Payton. So I'm not even going to go there. What I'm trying to say is Sean Payton is 180 degrees from what we've had. He's going to build this team into a championship focused team. And I've said this several times in my shows. Sean Payton has made it very, very clear. This team, the Denver Broncos, as we stand right now, is not for every Bronco player. And we've already seen that with some cuts that I mentioned last week and again this week. It's not for everybody. That doesn't mean those players wouldn't be good somewhere else. They're just not a fit in the Sean Payton way of doing things in Denver. And I'm okay with that. Because I know, I'm going to reach my neck out again. I'm going to say it again like I said it last year. I got confidence in Sean Payton. I believe in Sean Payton. I trust Sean Payton to get this team where it needs to be, a la Super Bowl 50, Super Bowl 32 and 33. That's what I'm talking about. And I know I said that last year because I really believed it. But we were all fed a bunch of BS because it didn't happen. And we probably should have seen it from right after game one. At least I saw it after game one. I'm like, what the heck? But then I gave him the benefit of doubt, and then he reared up his ugly head again, and then we ended up with 5 wins. That's not going to happen with Sean Payton. And for him and like I said, George Payton and Greg Penner to bring back P.J. Locke, to bring back Isang Bassi, great moves. The familiarity, the cohesiveness, the spokes in a wheel. Whether or not they're starting, backup, doesn't matter. When they're called upon, they know what to do. And that's what I like about this. That's what I like. I like PJ Locke. I really, really do. I liked him the moment I saw him. He's not your elite player, but he's a quality player. And that's what you need. You need good quality backup players. No doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt about it. Okay. I pulled two right there. Okay. Denver Broncos have a new punter. Finally. I mean, I understand. Okay. I mean, when you're going to punt like 150,000 times a game, a season, like it seemed like we did last year, that I don't know if that's why they let him go. I'm not sure. But I do like the person that they brought in. And here it is. Mike Kliss, again. Mike Kliss of 9 News Sports reports the Broncos withdrew their exclusive rights of $940,000 tender to punter Corliss Waitman. Okay, that's fine. I'll get in a little bit more about Waitman in a second. The move comes as a team signed punter Riley Dixon to a 2-year deal earlier this week. Contract detail was not disclosed. Okay, great. We got him on a 2-year deal. The interesting thing is this: Corliss Waitman. I mean, he must have punted his leg off last year. I mean, that guy punted. I know I exaggerated, said 140,000, but it sure felt like it. Every time we turned around, we were 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. It got so old, man. I just figured, hey, I'm just waiting for 4th down so we can punt it. Interesting, though, that Corliss Waitman was just signed by the New England Patriots because, according to Bill Belichick, he loves left-footed kickers. And the reason why he likes left-footed kickers is because the ball spins differently. When you kick it on your right foot, it's going to spin. Well, okay, I have to go this way. It's going to spin, to your right. So I don't. Okay, it's going to spin this way. Left-footed kicker spins the opposite way because it's on his left foot. So he said he prefers left-footed punters for that reason. He feels it's harder to catch as a punt returner because you're expecting the ball to spin a certain way. So if you see it come down in a spiral, you're leaning this way normally as a right-footed kicker. Well, if you lean this way on the left foot, it's going to hit here and bounce away. That's why he likes left-footed punters. Excuse me. Okay, that's all well and good. You're taking a guy whose leg is pretty much falling off because he's kicked or punted so many times. Hey, good for you, Belichick. I commend you. Absolutely commend you for, picking him up. Why? Why do I say that? Because I don't think he's all that good, to tell you the truth. I really don't. I don't think he was impressive last year. Yeah, and not necessarily because he punted for, 140,000 times a season, but I'm being facetious, guys. That's not the truth. But he punted a tremendous amount of time because he had to. So, I mean, if he wants to take in my opinion, damaged goods or maybe a weak leg or something, I mean, so be it. It's all good. Bubba says, so the 49ers just acquired kicker Zane Gonzalez from the Panthers for a 6. Wow. Okay. All right. Boy, I'll tell you what. The Panthers are stocking players. They're stocking draft picks. There's a lot of movement in the NFL this year. A lot of movement. I'm going to need, I believe I mentioned this last year, I'm going to need an NFL program just to know who's on who. Who's on this team and who got traded there and who went this. I mean, you look up and you're like, wow, I didn't know that guy went there. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's crazy. I can't remember, honestly. I can't remember the last time that I remember this many deals or trades or players moving here and there. I know it happens every year, but holy smokes, it just seems like it's just snowballed this year. I mean, everybody's moving. Don't even know. Not only is everybody moving, but Tom Brady. I'll get into that a little bit later. Tom Brady retires, and then I'll get into that, like I said. All right, Jerry Jeudy. This is interesting, and I understand the situation, but still interesting. According to Zach Stevens of DNVR, the Dallas Cowboys explored trading for Jerry Jeudy this past year, but they didn't want to give up their first-round pick. Okay. Let me ask you a question. If Jerry Jeudy is that good and teams want to get him as their receiver, and they really feel that he's up in that upper echelon, wouldn't you give up a first-round pick? I would. If I thought Jerry Jeudy was, I don't know, name a receiver out there that you really like. If he was on that level, wouldn't you give up a first-round pick? I know I would if I felt he was at that level. Apparently, these teams out there that want Jerry Jeudy, Dallas Cowboys, amongst others, are not willing to give up a first-round pick. Well, the Broncos aren't stupid. You know, George Payton's no dummy. He's not going to sit there and go, yeah, okay, fine, we'll just take a second or third round, whatever you want to give us for Jerry Jeudy. No, that'd be stupid. Absolutely stupid. But on the heels of signing Marquez Callaway? Yeah, Marquez Callaway. Does that mean that if somebody comes knocking at George Payton's door, picks up the phone and says, hey, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll give you a second for Jerry Jeudy because now you have Marquez. Well, that would still be stupid, in my opinion. And I'll get into that because of not only because of injuries that we've had in the past, and we do have another coming up. I'll get into that. You know, you don't want to deplete your arsenal. I mean, you know, not that I want to equate football with military or whatever, but you don't deplete your arsenal. You don't get rid of your weapons because you think you have too many. No, you never have too many in both formats. You never have too many. So don't give up a Jerry Jeudy and settle for a second or third. I'm not saying that's what George Payton's going to do. I'm just saying now that we have Marquez Callaway, why would you give up a Jerry Jeudy? Don't do it. Just because you have a new guy, you know, in the stable, so to speak, no pun intended with the horse, but you get on point. You know, if you have a new guy on the team, you just don't start shredding and getting rid of receivers. Jerry Jeudy was dominant last year. He stepped it up last year, primarily because he had to. No, I mean, why not? My whole thought is this. Don't do it. Don't settle for that. If you're hell bent on a first round draft pick for Jerry Jeudy, don't bend. Don't do it. Because that's exactly what they want you to do. All these teams want you to cave in and just, you know, settle. Don't settle. Hold your head high, put your foot down the ground and say, nope, I'm not crossing that line. Not going to happen. You're going to meet my demands or you're not getting Jerry Jeudy or Cortland Sutton or Tim Patrick or KJ Hamler. It's not happening. And that's what I want. Stand firm, doggone it. Don't give in. I'm sick and tired of just pandering in. I mean, it goes back to Russell Wilson having his own entourage anytime he wanted, his own office. No, quit giving in to these guys. And I mean that from players all the way up to freaking owners and CEOs or whatever they call them. Don't give in. Stand your ground. Plain and simple. This team is going to be different, guys, this year. This team is going to be different. And if you give up weapons, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. And that, to me, is stupid. All right. Bubba says, Odell Beckham in his prime or Jerry Rice? Whew. You know what? I got to be somewhat partial. I don't know if you guys can see it back here. But right down there in the lower picture, right there, that's me with Jerry Rice. So to be partial, yeah, I got to say Jerry Rice. Now, on the playing field, Odell Beckham made some ridiculous plays. And yes, Jerry Rice played a completely different era. I understand that. And it wasn't as offensive pronounced or offensive production as it is now. The offensive play calling is more apt to throw the deep bomb to get, an illegal chuck past 5 yards, pass interference, that kind of thing. So to say that Odell Beckham is better than Jerry Rice, I can't go there. I mean, Jerry Rice is a Hall of Fame. So obviously I can't go there. But in two different eras, what they did in each era, I would have to say is absolutely outstanding. No question about it, Bubba. No question about it. But having a picture with Jerry Rice, yeah, that's special to me. Absolutely special. It's up on the wall with John Elway at the very top. And then myself and my sister in the middle, and then myself and Jerry Rice on the bottom. So, yeah, that is extremely special to me. So, hey, that's a good question. Good thought process. Good thought to think about that. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Speaking of wide receivers, Adam Thielen. Oh, my gosh. Can you imagine Adam Thielen and Marquez on the Broncos receiving core, along with Judy and Sutton and Patrick and Hamler? Oh, you betcha. Except one thing. The Carolina Panthers have signed former Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Adam Thielen to a 3-year deal per NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. This occurred last Sunday afternoon. Thielen played 9 seasons with the Minnesota Vikings. Wow. That hurts. But I have some more things about Thielen in regards to the Broncos. Golly, would I have loved to have Adam Thielen. Absolutely would have loved to have Adam Thielen. The guy, I mean, he's not, I know why Minnesota got rid of him, because he's not the number 1 receiver anymore. He's probably not even number 2, more like 3. I get that. But man, on the Bronco team, he could have brought experience. He could have brought talent, obviously. He doesn't need to be the number 1 receiver. He could be the number 2, number 3. He could come in, on certain packages. Man, absolutely would have loved to have had Adam Thielen. Didn't work out, but hey, it is what it is. I wish him all the best. I just wish he was on the Broncos and not the Panthers. That's it. Absolutely. All right. I already talked about that Badungus. We just signed a wide receiver from the Saints, I believe, will be a Hamler replacement. I will get into, I didn't talk about Hamler yet, did I? No, I have not. I'll get into some Hamler things. But yeah, Badungus, and that person that we signed was Marquez. Marquez, I think, was it Callaway? Let me go back here real quick. Yeah, Marquez Callaway. That was his last name. So yes, that it's okay. It's okay, Badungus. That's why I mean, seriously, dude, it just broke like 2 hours, hour and a half before I did the show. And I scrambled to get the much information as I could off my phone. But yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Love to have it. To me, that's a great signing. Go back and watch the beginning of the show. I led off with it. I wasn't going to lead off with it, but since it broke, man, I had to. And great signing. Absolutely love the signing. But like I mentioned, that bothers me because now I don't know what Bronco receiver's gone. And I don't want any of them gone. I don't want KJ Hamler gone. I don't want Tim Patrick gone. I don't want Cortland Sutton gone. I don't want Jerry Jeudy gone. But I understand you can't have, 15 receivers and nobody else. I get that. So I just don't like it. But I will get into a KJ Hamler segment, and that's what I have right now. So great segue, Madungas. Love it. Here we go. KJ Hamler. NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero reported last Thursday. That's just yesterday. Or maybe it was a week ago. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a week ago, last Thursday, that Hamler underwent surgery after, oh, crap. Here we go again. Oh, boy. I think, Madungas, you nailed it. Maybe Hamler's gone. But Yeah, Hammer's gone. Here we go. Underwent surgery after suffering a partially torn pectoral muscle while training on his own this offseason. I mean, I know these guys want to stay in shape. I understand that. And that's all well and good, but don't do something. Have trainers there that know what they're doing. Somebody that's competent. Don't just go out there and start lifting weight. I think I'll just do this. Come on, man. Seriously? I'm not saying that's what he did. I don't know if it was lifting weights or hanging from a jungle gym. I don't know. But whatever he's doing it on his own. It didn't say if he was supervised. And I don't mean supervised like a mommy and daddy over a kid. I'm not meaning that. I'm saying I don't know if he was supervised by a well-skilled, knowledgeable trainer. Or was it with he and his buddies? You hear about it all the time. Oh, I played. I'm having a pickup game with my buddies, basketball guys. I'm having a pickup game with my buddies. Boom, come down, break an ankle. Why? I understand that KJ Hammer wants to stay in shape and get in shape and be ready for the season. Understand that. But if you're going out there and doing something on your own, have some kind of freaking common sense. Have somebody there that knows what they're doing, understands what you're doing, understands what you want to do. And maybe be harsh and say, no, don't do that, dude. You could really hurt yourself. Don't try it. Don't do it. I'm not going to let you do it. Nope. Doesn't say. I'm assuming. I mean, that's what I do. I'm reading what it says right off of the NFL Network insider, Tom Pelissero. Exactly what he wrote. While training on his own this offseason. I continue, and it gets worse. The initial timeline for his recovery is 4 to 6 weeks. Nope. 4 to 6 months. Way to go, KJ. Way to freaking go. Now you're sidelined for 4 to 6 months. Okay, we're entering the month of April next week, next Saturday, a week from tomorrow. Okay? So we got April, May, June, July, August, September. Okay? So we have either July, he could start coming back, or September. When does football start, guys? August. Exactly. So is KJ Hammer damaged goods at this point? Absolutely. And just like Madungus Creevy said, it looks like that having Marquez Callaway signed, this could be the end for KJ Hammer in Denver. Well, I'm not saying it was Marquez Callaway that caused it. I'm saying it was KJ Hammer himself. He's the one that went out and did this stupid move, in my opinion, by injuring himself on his own. Working out on his own. And I mean, again, I know he needs to work out, but he brought it upon himself. It's happened to other athletes that did things on their own and get hurt. It's stupid. If you don't have the training staff around you, why do you think the NFL, every single NFL, why do you think the Denver Broncos have a training staff? Why do you think? Why do you think they have workouts? Why do you think they have the trainers there? To help them not to do stupid things. I'm not saying KJ Hammer is stupid. I'm saying what he did was stupid. Absolutely. And now he may just have stamped his ticket out of Denver. Because you're bringing in a very healthy Marquez Callaway, and you got a very damaged goods KJ Hammer. Not smart. Not smart at all. What can I say? What can I say? He's the one that brought it upon himself. Out 4 to 6 months. Earliest is July, possibly September. Wow. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Just boggles my mind. All right. Wow. Madunga says, I'm on my 7th can of Mountain Dew, and I'm all over the place right now. You got that right, buddy. And when you capitalize all over the place, you have absolutely got that right, man. Chill out, Madungus. Relax. Take a breath. Take a breath. You'll be okay. I guarantee it. All right. Okay. I move on to Russell Wilson. Here we go. Maybe not all of the blame is the reason for Russell Wilson having a bad season last year. Here we go. Russell Wilson had arguably his worst season in his NFL career this past year. Perhaps here's the reason why. Wilson had the following. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Wilson had the following: nagging knee injury, partially torn lateral, grade 2 hamstring tear, and a scary concussion. And he only missed 2 games? Whose fault is that? Yep. In my opinion, that goes right squarely on the chest of Nathaniel Hackett. You do not put an injured quarterback in the game and expect him to do what you want him to do. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, we had a backup in Brett Rippon. Why not put Brett Rippon in there? Oh, well, because we're trying to win the game. No freaking kidding. But if you're losing 10-9 and your quarterback can't get out of his own shadow because he's too dang banged up and injured, oh, but you're going to keep him in there because, yeah, you know, because you're the quarterback and because you're the head coach and you don't have any guts or you know what, cojones, to do the right thing and say, no, I'm pulling you out. Gary Kubiak did that to Peyton Manning, and Peyton Manning is head and shoulders over Russell Wilson. And Gary Kubiak is way, way, way ahead, light years ahead of Nathaniel Hackett. And he pulled Peyton Manning, said, you're sitting down. Peyton Manning got pissed. Well, of course he did. But guess what? Who won that battle? That's right. Gary Kubiak. Why? Because he's a head coach and he did the right thing. Absolutely did the right thing. And if he hadn't have pulled Peyton Manning, in my opinion, and had Osweiler come in against the Patriots in that snow game in Denver and the Broncos win that game, we don't have home field advantage. And in my opinion, we don't go to Super Bowl 50 and win it. That's what I'm talking about. Make the right decision. Hackett didn't do that. He let Russell Wilson be the head coach and the quarterback and the general manager and everything else because Hackett didn't have a freaking backbone. Couldn't tell him no. Couldn't stand on his own 2 feet and be a head coach. And Russell Wilson played. And again, he played with the following: nagging knee injury, partially torn lateral, grade 2 hamstring tear, and a scary concussion. To me, that means sit your happy butt down because you ain't going back in the game. And you're not even starting. And okay, so we've only won 3 games out of, I don't know, however many at the time. 3-8, 3-9, whatever. Doesn't matter. Season's over. Put in Brett Rippon. Not give in to Russell Wilson because Russell Wilson's contract is $245 million. I don't give a frosty you know what. I don't care. You're going to do the right thing. And Sean Payton will do that this year. Why do you think the Broncos went out and got Stidham from the Raiders? Because he's a solid, quality quarterback. And I'm telling you guys right now, if Sean Payton feels Russell Wilson is not up to where he needs to be up here, and Russell Wilson's down here, guess what? Russell Wilson's going to sit his butt on the bench. And Stidham's going to be in the game. No questions asked. Absolutely none. Stidham will be in there. Absolutely he'll be in there. Because Sean Payton is not going to let Russell Wilson run the freaking team and be the head coach. He's not going to let it happen. So that tells me that it's one of 2 things. Either Russell Wilson listens to what Sean Payton is saying and does what he says, or he's going to be benched. Plain and simple. On the flip side, Russell Wilson under Sean Payton could rebound and possibly have one of the greatest comeback seasons of all time. Absolutely. Absolutely he could. No doubt in my mind whatsoever that Russell Wilson can have a comeback year. No doubt. And the reason why I say that is because I just mentioned it. Sean Payton is not going to allow him to play when he's injured. Period. Not going to happen. So if he's going to have a comeback year, he's not. First off, he's not going to take these 2 or 3 or 4 week injuries. He's not going to get those because Sean Payton is not going to tailor a game to where Russell Wilson gets killed out there. Not going to happen. He's going to run the ball. We got a fullback. We're going to be running the ball. We're going to be passing the ball. We're going to be mixing it up. But we're not going to put, Sean Payton, I should say, is not going to put Russell Wilson in a situation where he is going to not succeed. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. All right. I move on. There's a team that is very, very close to a sale. And here it is. Last night, a week ago, not last night, not last Thursday, but a week ago Thursday, via a report from Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio, whose sources tell him the Snyders, Washington? The Snyders have left the building literally. Per multiple sources, Dan Snyder and Tanya Snyder have cleared out of the team's facility in advance of the sale of the team. Well, it's about time. About time the NFL, got some intestinal fortitude and put their foot down and said, okay, fine. You're going to sell the team because what you've done and how you've run your front office and conducted yourself with employees is not conductive and conducive to the NFL's way of doing things. So you're going to have to give up the team. About time. Here we go. We are also told that we, being, the Mike Florio and his sources, we are also told that within the building, the word being used regarding a potential sale is imminent. That means it's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen, period. No ifs, ands, or buts. If the Schneiders have already cleared out their office and they've already moved out of the building, they're done. Absolutely done. The NFL said enough is enough. We've had it. We're fed up with you. We're kicking you out. We're forcing you to sell. Multiple sources said a sale could be approved and announced as soon as the upcoming league meeting in Arizona. Wow. Good for him. You know who's one of the front runners? He's been banned by Snyder to participate, and that is Jeff Bezos, Amazon CEO, Amazon owner, or owner. I don't know if they call them owners, but he's Amazon CEO. Jeff Bezos, would he be great for the Washington Commanders? Why not? Why not? We have Rob Walton in the Walton Penner Group. Why not? I don't know how much Bezos is worth. I don't know if he must be pretty close to Penner, Rob Penner, I would assume. I mean, Amazon is amazing. It's blown up. I mean, Amazon took off like a skyrocket when COVID hit because that was the only way you could get stuff. Really, realistically. And then you had all these, shoppers that go and shop for you and that kind of stuff. My wife and I use that for Costco every now and then. And so, everybody says COVID's bad. Yes, COVID was extremely bad. I'm not saying that it wasn't, but it sure made a boom for all these other jobs. I mean, think about it. You got these Uber Eats and you got all these things where people deliver it. You got these grocery shoppers that do stuff where I mentioned that just a bit ago. You got Amazon. You got, all these other things that took off because of that. I'm not saying that COVID's good and I hate it with a passion. What I'm saying is if Jeff Bezos can go ahead and buy the Washington Commanders, he probably could buy it by himself. I don't think he would need an ownership group at all. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Before I get on to something else, guys, I got the TV on right now. I'm in the Southern California area. I was born and raised in San Diego County. Right now, the San Diego State Aztecs, with 1 minute and 10 seconds left, they're the number 5 seed. They are beating the number 1 seed, Alabama Crimson Tide, 66-62, with 1 minute and 10 left in the game. Wow. I would love to see that. Absolutely love to see that. That means that San Diego State would go to the Elite 8. That would be fantastic. They've never been to the Elite 8 that I remember. I don't know. Anyway, just had to throw that in. I'm going to keep my eye on that. I'll give you the final score at the end, but I go back to the topics on the show. All right. Tom Brady. This is interesting. Very, very interesting. Before I get to that, let's see. Bubba says, my Browns just signed a wide receiver. Awesome. Awesome. I don't know who it is. Didn't get any. I mean, I might have got stuff on my phone, but obviously I don't have my phone on when I'm doing this. So congratulations, Bubba. Hope it's a good guy that you like. And that, I know you say you're so happy. So that's awesome. Really happy for you, man. All right. Tom Brady. Breaking news. This was obviously before the other breaking news I had with Marquez Callaway, but here we go. Breaking news. Tom Brady has acquired an ownership interest in the Women's National Basketball Association's Las Vegas Aces. According to Aces owner Mark Davis? Is that the same Mark Davis that owns the Raiders? Could be. I'm not a big basketball fan. I'm just wondering. That name is extremely familiar. Obviously, being in Vegas with the Las Vegas Aces. Wow. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Who's the head coach of the Vegas Raiders? Josh McDaniels. Could Tom Brady be thinking about rubbing shoulders again with Josh McDaniels? Well, if he's going to be part owner of a Women's National Basketball Association's Las Vegas Aces, he could. Different formula, different format. Could he come back and play for the Raiders? So let's say 1 year. I don't know. I don't know how all those parameters work. I don't know if he can play for one team and be an owner of another. I don't know. I have no idea. It's just interesting that he chose the Vegas Aces. Connection McDaniels with the Raiders? Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders? Owner of the Aces, apparently? Wow. Very, very interesting. And remember, Tom Brady is not starting his Fox analytic comments or analytic comments until next season, 2024. Not doing it this year. Does this open the door for him to be a part owner? Full owner? Half owner? I don't know what it means. Could it be possible? Well, let me tell you what Brady said. Here it is. And I quote. Brady said, and I quote, my love for women's sports began at a young age when I would tag along to all of my older sister's games. They were by far the best athletes in our house. We celebrated their accomplishments together as a family, and they remain a great inspiration to me to this day. End quote. There you go. He enjoyed and grew up with women's sports because of his sisters. So now he wants to get and be part owner of a women's NBA basketball team. That's fine. That's great. Absolutely wonderful. Just interesting, though, that he chose the Vegas Aces with Mark Davis, the owner of the Aces, as well. And I'm just saying, maybe it's just a coincidence with the name, but I'm betting on the fact that it's the same Mark Davis that owns the Las Vegas Raiders. I could be wrong. Interesting that Tom Brady will be in the same city with Josh McDaniels, the head coach of the Raiders, and wanting to be part owner of a Las Vegas women's basketball team. Interesting for sure. All right. Let's see. Chuck Hood, he says he just purchased Las Vegas Aces. What? Oh, wait a minute. You're talking about Mark Davis just purchased the Aces? Wow. And now Tom Brady's going to be headed there as a part owner? Whew. A lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of stuff. I mean, Vegas is considered, the gambling capital of the world, or not world maybe, but gambling capital definitely of the western states. So that to me is interesting. That Tom Brady would be interested in that. And you got Mark Davis owning the Raiders, because I know that as an owner, you can own multiple teams. They just can't be in the same league. Well, you got Stan Kroenke. He owns the Colorado Avalanche. He owns the Stan Kroenke owns the Colorado Avalanche and he owns the LA Rams. Well, they're two different sports, so it's okay. It's fine. So yeah, Mark Davis can own a women's NBA basketball team as well as the Raiders. Just find it interesting though that Brady would have connections to a Mark Davis. I don't know. Just kind of caught me off guard when I saw that. I'm like, holy smokes, man, that's interesting. All right, let's move on to Samaje Perine. Samaje Perine explained why he chose Denver over other teams. I quote, Perine says, and I quote, Coach Payton sold me on joining Denver by using multiple running backs per the situation. That's exactly what Sean Payton did in New Orleans. He would have a double set back, let's say back here, however that lines up equally or whatever. Anyways, so you have double backs, and then he'd have the quarterback, either behind center or maybe, taking a pistol or a shotgun and having the guys flanking him on either side. You don't know if he's going to hand off, if they're going to block, if it's going to be a screen pass. You don't have any idea. And that's what's great about having a Perine on the Broncos, as well as hopefully a Javonte Williams healthy. So a 1-2 punch, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's great. And I continue with the quote. I quote Perine saying this. What it came down to was really how the Broncos were upfront with me with playing time and how Payton wants to use me and what he wants to do as an offense. End quote. And not end quote. Still quoting. That was my decision. That's what made my decision that much easier. End quote. There you go. I mean, Sean Payton is not going to pull any punches. He's not going to sit there and say, okay, we're going to do this, or we're going to do that, and then he doesn't do it. He's not going to sell you a bill of goods. It's stupid to do that. Why would he do that? That's not his style. He's up front. I mean, he came right out point blank and said that Russell Wilson is not having his entourage on the field, nowhere near the house. Anybody that comes onto our practices, whatever, is going to be on the Broncos staff. Hello? Put his foot down right away. No question. He's not going to sit there and go, well, maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll do it. No whatsoever. So he told Perine, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to use multiple back sets, and it's all well and good. That's what we're going to do. And that's why I want you here, because you're going to be instrumental in what I want to do. I love it. Absolutely love it. Glad. All right. Chuck Hood says the following. Mark DeVicious owned Vegas Aces 3 years. Tom Brady owned 3 properties in Vegas. I didn't know that. Good point. Tom's aunt worked with Raiders for 22 years. I grew up, meaning Chuck talking here, I grew up in San Mateo, California, where Tom lived 2 blocks away. Wow. Barry Bonds, Greg Jeffries were all my neighbors. Sean Payton is from San Mateo as well. There you go. There's the connection right there. Absolutely, there's a connection. Well, hey, Chuck, thanks so much for chiming in. Thanks so much for being in the chat and pointing that out. I did not know that. That is great insight. And I bet it was kind of thrilling, though, to have those guys live a couple blocks away from you. That'd be pretty cool, man. Totally pretty cool. Well, there you go. If Tom Brady owns 3 properties in Vegas, well, there you go. There's another reason. He's retired. He can go to Vegas. He can hang out and do whatever. There you go. There's your answer, guys. There's your answer. That's good. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have. I didn't know if that was another person. You said Mark Dave. Okay. I kind of read it into a name. That was my fault. Okay. Mark Davis owned Vegas Aces 3 years. Okay. My mistake. Sorry. I read it in differently. Hey, just thought it was a different name. Thanks a lot, Chuck, for pointing that out. Really appreciate it. All right. Before we get to looks like I'm not gonna say what it looks like on the screen. Yeah, I'm gonna hold out for just a minute. There's 7.9 seconds left. Alabama has the ball. They shoot a 3-pointer. It's no good. It's rebounded by the Aztecs. Time runs out. San Diego State beats number 1 Alabama 71-64. Wow. Congratulations to San Diego State for going to the Elite 8 for the very first time in college, in San Diego State's Aztecs college history. Amazing. 71-64. San Diego State advances to the Elite Eight. There you go, guys. That was the update. Okay. Let's see. Chuck Hood says, I worked with Denver Broncos as, what's that? SOUS, SOS chef? What's that mean? I'm not sure. 2002 to 2012. Awesome. Way to go, Chuck. Great, man. Great to know that. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right. I close out this show with this last segment. Here it is. The Denver Broncos have reached out to their season ticket holders for exploring the possibility of constructing a new state-of-the-art stadium. Wow. Well, I know they've talked about a new state-of-the-art stadium. Just don't know, where it's going to be or this, that, and the other. I continue. The new stadium would improve fan experience with new seating options. Wonder what that means. New seating option. I wonder if that means, if you're getting the more expensive seats, maybe you can get, a recliner, your own personal, maybe not personal, but your own section, staff that would come down there and serve food or drinks. I don't know. Upgraded amenities across concessions. So probably, maybe more concessions, maybe, I don't know what that means either. The concourse would be updated. Technology would be considered, merchandise, and much, much more. Wonder what that means. Now, I also know that they're asking the fan base, or in this instance, season ticket holders, before they reach out to the general fan base. The season ticket holders, I do know that they've asked a question regarding what would you like to see in the stadium? What color seat do you want to see? You want to see all orange? You want to see all blue? You want a half and half? Whatever. What do you want to see in regards to how it's built? Do you want it to be like the horseshoe, like it is now at Empower Field? You still want to see the horse up there? Absolutely, I want to see that. I mean, that's thunder. You got to have thunder up on there. I mean, come on. That's a staple. There's no doubt about that. You got to have that. I like the shape of Empower Field. I really do. Here's one thing I would like to see. I'd like to see a retractable roof. And some people have mentioned to me, and I've talked to, have said, oh, let's make it like SoFi Stadium, like what Stan Kroenke did. Okay. Well, you can ask Stan Kroenke. I mean, obviously he built SoFi Stadium for the Rams. Well, and the Chargers, but who cares about it? They built it for the Rams. So why not? I mean, why not get a retractable roof? Do you want to have it kind of like glass where you can see the sky at night? In Colorado, I'm not too sure. You got a heavy snow. You got to make sure that roof is structured such that if there's heavy snow, it's not going to cave in like it did in Minneapolis when they had that balloon roof. That was dumb because it caved in. I mean, that's common sense. You got snow and snow's heavy. You can't do that. You have to have it structurally sound. So do I want a retractable roof? Absolutely. Do I want a combination kind of like, I don't know, Dallas, where, not that I bring up the Cowboys, but I don't know if that's retractable. Would I like it like Arizona where that's retractable? Would I like a turf where you could roll it out like Arizona and you can treat it and keep it grass? Do I want artificial in Colorado? Absolutely not. No artificial turf whatsoever. That ruins players' knees. That ruins players' ankles. That ruins players' careers. Absolutely do not want to see it. So if you have a retractable roof, then what do? Do you leave it open all the time so that the sun and the rain and the snow and all that can be out of the field like it is now? I would say, I said, why not? You get the natural sunshine, you get the natural rain, you get the snow, whatever it is, and that's all well and good because now it still gets the treatment that a regular grass would get without a dome. So have a retractable roof, have a dome and a retractable roof. And then game time, if it looks like inclement weather or it's cold out or whatever, close it. It's the grass is going to be fine for a game. It's going to be absolutely fine. Excuse me. Then after the game's over, open it back up. And now you're exposed back to the elements, which allows the grass to grow and do what it needs to do. So I say absolutely, make it a dome. Make it 100% retractable. No questions asked. Do not make it a solid dome. That to me would be stupid because now you have to have artificial turf. And that is dumb. Absolutely dumb and stupid. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that was going to happen. Let's see. Bubba Gonzalez said, did you read my comment? No. Oh, Ray says no dome. Okay. Let's see what else he says. Ray says retractable roof would be fine, but all home games should be opened up. Agreed. How'd that get twisted? My light. Okay. I totally agree that all home games should be with the dome open. Yes. Or the roof open. So if that's the case, then why would you need it retractable? I mean, you're basically the Dallas Cowboys then is what you're saying. Because if you have it open for all home games, that's fine. But what if it's heavily snowing? Yeah, I know the players will have to play in the elements and stuff like that. But if you can control the elements and make it, do I dare say more fair? I don't want to make it more fair for the other team. And I know what you're saying, Ray. That's why you want to open, because you want to have the altitude of 5,280 feet along with the elements. I get that. That's a great point. But then why have a dome, or why have it retractable? I just like the idea of a dome because you can. Okay. The new stadium, not if, but when it is built, the new stadium is going to be a 360-day a year effectively used. Not every day is not going to be used. I understand. I mean, it's going to be there for tours and things like that. It's going to be there for concerts. It's going to be there for motocross, possibly. It may be there for, I don't know what they call those things. Those big tractor things that smash cars and stuff, that kind of stuff, off-road stuff, whatever. It's going to be used for a lot of things. So you may need to have it closed for a night concert. Or if it's snowing outside, you don't want that to happen on a concert. Or for monster truck, that's what it is. Or for monster truck. Or for, motocross or whatever. You're going to want the dome closed because you want to protect the riders and the elements and stuff inside. That I can understand. Having it open for football games, okay, I'm good with that. So if you're talking about having it open for football games, I agree with. I'm also saying you need to have a dome to close it for concerts, for things that need to have protection from the weather. That's what I'm saying. That's what I want to see. I want to see a new stadium with the state-of-the-art technology, concept, lighting, all of that stuff. Kind of like SoFi, where if you see it at night, it lights up. That is fantastic. You can advertise on top of it. You can do all kinds of things. I love that. I'm not too thrilled on having the openness on the side like SoFi has, because it got rained on during the playoffs. There was rain coming in, and the fans were getting soaked. That was stupid. And I know it's not supposed to rain in Southern California. Let me tell you something, guys. We've had an onslaught of rain this year. I don't know. I know that I'm getting off track, and I'm going to end it right here pretty quick. Southern California has had more precipitation than Seattle, Washington this winter / going into spring. We just got through another 3-day storm, and we're in spring. Yeah, right. So what I'm saying is, yes, it does rain in Southern California. Not all the time, but it rains a lot more and snows a lot more in Denver than it does in Southern California. I say make it a dome, make it retractable, make it work for anything and everything that is going to take place in a brand new stadium whenever that stadium is built. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't, please do so. Hit the like button. If you guys haven't done that, please do so. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when this show goes live every Friday at 5. And I really do appreciate every single one of you that watch, that chime in the chat. It means a whole lot. Absolutely. The show wouldn't be as engaging and as enjoyable to do as it is without you guys. Really appreciate it. Avatar, Ray, Bubba, Madungus, and where is it? And Chuck. I really, really do appreciate you guys sporting your comments, making your points across, making this guy think a little bit, react to some comments and topics. I really, really do appreciate it. Thanks, guys, always for chiming in. You make the show much better than it would be without you. Let me, before I get out of here, let me bring you up to date on what's going to take place. This coming Monday, we have the what do we have on Mondays? Oh yeah, we have the Cluster Puck podcast with Nick and Britt. That goes live every Monday, 5, 6, 7, and 8. On Tuesday, we have the 5280 podcast with Mundungus Creevy. That goes live, and Glenn Hauser and Cam. That goes live every Tuesday at 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's followed immediately by the No Nonsense and Whiskey. And that goes live right after the 5280, usually right around 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. And then on Wednesday, we have the Wild Wild West that features a fan from every AFC West team: Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, and Chiefs. Don't miss it. That goes live every 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, and 7:30. And then on Friday, this show once again goes live. Broncos Breakdown with me, your host, Bronco Bill, live every Friday, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Thanks again, guys, for chiming in. Thanks for watching. And until next Friday, and all the way through the week with the other shows, but until next Friday at 5 p.m. live, I will see you then. Until then, have a great, great sports weekend. We will talk to you then. Take care. Bye-bye.